We are now live on Facebook and YouTube. Commissioner, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the meeting of the Administration Operation Committee of the Public Building Commission of Chicago being held today, March 8, 2023 at 1 p.m. Today's meeting is being live streamed. Director Sanchez, please call the roll.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Good to see everyone. Just a reminder, make sure that your mic is muted when not speaking, but for the moment, I need to make sure that it's unmuted as I call the roll. Chairman Maldonado.
Here.
Commissioner Randall.
Here.
Chairman Maldonado, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Director Sanchez. First item of the agenda is approval of minutes from the meeting held February 8, 2023.
Move to approve.
Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is public participation in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Registered speakers will be allowed 2 minutes to provide comments and will join the meeting remotely.
There are no registered speakers.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is report by Director of Procurement, James Borkman.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioner Randall. I hope everyone's having a good week. I have 3 reports for you this month. First, we have the task order report for the past couple of months here. We had 4 task orders issued. I'll go ahead and read them and the amounts. The first was for the new Near South High School project for environmental engineering services. That was awarded to Terracon Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $249,384.20. Chinatown Library Environmental Reno Demo Services to ATC Group Services, LLC. That was in the amount of $23,302.80. And the last 2 are for Debt Elementary School Annex. The first was Geotech Investigation for ECS Midwest, LLC in the amount of $46,380 even. And the next was Traffic Study Services, again, as I said, for Debt Elementary School. And that was to V3 Companies of Illinois in the amount of $31,980. Any questions on the task orders? Okay. My next report is to update this committee about the appointment of firms to provide energy performance analysis and contracting services for various projects. On December 21st, we issued a request for proposals so that the PBC could stand ready to further implement the city's energy goals. We sought proposals from energy service companies that could meet various requirements, including the ability to assist other agencies such as CPS and sister agencies. On January 4th, we held a very successful pre-submission conference that had over 40 attendees and 7 large energy service providing companies attend. Following that, submissions were received on time from 4 companies. During February, we evaluated and interviewed, and the evaluation committee and the PBC are going through final reviews and checks, and we'll be presenting our recommendation for award to the board next week. Very excited about this. Any questions?
Just yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask a question. So just generally, James, what types of services would this company provide?
The company or the companies, depending on the full recommendation to the board, would be able to provide an incredible array of energy service measures, including IGAs or investment grade audits, and enter into guaranteed energy performance contracts that would be able to provide the guaranteed energy, much like we did with Retrofit One, whenever we were assisting others. And then Ray, if you want to chime in with any of the other abilities that we want to make sure these companies have.
Sure. Thank you, James. And Commissioner, it's a collaborative effort with our client, of course, CPS, to conduct these assessments at various facilities throughout the city to confirm, survey existing infrastructure for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, not just for enhancements, but also to determine life cycle replacements, upgrades to the systems, exactly what James Borkman was talking about, as part of our investment grade audit, so that we can properly advise our client as to those requirements that need assessment and potential savings and payback to the CPS as part of this entire process. So it's been an exciting process to work with CPS on this. We had multiple submissions, and James just alluded to it. With CPS's consensus, we agreed to recommend the ESCOs that James Borkman is referring to right now.
Great, thank you. That's helpful.
And just to make sure that it's clear, these would not just, these ESCOs would be under a master agreement with the Public Building Commission, so that if another agency needed to utilize these services, we would stand ready and able to fulfill that goal. Again, the whole idea was to work with our partner, but at the same time, be prepared for any anticipated work as a result of the city's goal of 2050 of reducing energy consumption.
That's great. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you, James.
Thank you. Any other questions about the recommendation we'll make next week? All right.
No.
And my last report, somewhat lengthy. I apologize. Don't start to hate me whenever I do amendment reports, but we do have an amendment report this month, and this is for something that I know this board and commissioner are very proud of. If you remember, back in 2018, we presented to this board, and this board approved of the appointment of the most minority firms for architect of record services that had ever been done by a city agency or a sister agency. That was 5 years ago. A number of projects having been complete, we want to stand ready to continue utilizing these firms. The initial agreement authority was for $5 million. And although we have not necessarily expended that money, we would like to ensure that we wouldn't have to come back to the board piecemeal. So we're asking to amend the agreements for a revised amendment agreement authority, rather, totaling $10 million, which would be just an increase in the same amount of the original contract value. So I'll go through and read each of the firms that this would apply to and their contract number. And I'm also going to read the M&W or MW status, because I think that each of these firms deserves recognition, and we're very proud of this board's ability to guide us and allow us to work with such a large number of minority and women-owned business enterprise firms. So first, PS 3026, Brook Architecture, Inc., an MBE and WBE firm. Second, PS 3027, Forma Architecture Limited, an MBE firm. PS 3028, Tilton Kelly and Bell LLC, a WBE firm. PS 3030, Muller and Muller Architects, a WBE firm. PS 3031, STL Architects, Inc., an MBE firm. PS 3032, Moody Nolan, Inc. PS 3033, Bauer Latosa Studio, an MBE firm. PS 3034, Ratio Architects. PS 3035, Urban Works, an MBE and WBE firm. PS 3036, Bailey Edward Design, a WBE firm. PS 3037, Harding Mode Joint Venture. Mode is an MBE firm. PS 3038, Millhouse Engineering and Construction, an MBE firm. PS 3039, Rada Architects Limited, a WBE firm. PS 3040, Altus Works, Inc., a WBE firm. PS 3041, Wallen Gomez Architects, an MBE firm. PS 3042, Studio ARQ, LLC, an MBE firm. PS 3046, Coup, LLC, an MBE and WBE firm. PS 3047, Johnson & Lee Limited, an MBE firm. PS 3048, Onyx Architecture Services, an MBE firm. PS 3049, Doyle Architecture, a WBE firm. PS 3050, Brush Architects, a WBE firm. PS 3053, SMNGA Limited. PS 3054, Latent Design Group, an MBE and WBE firm. PS 3055, Terry Gwynn Design Associates, Inc., an MBE and WBE firm. PS 3059, Johnson Lasky Kendlin Architects, Inc., a WBE firm. PS 3060, EC Purdy and Associates, an MBE and WBE firm. PS 3073, Moreno Architects Limited, doing business as JGMA, an MBE firm. And the last of our AOR architects of record, kind of redundant, Mode Architects, PS 3074, an MBE firm. We also have 3 engineer of record service providers. Those are PS 3051, which is HBK, PS 3058, DB Sterling Consultants, Inc., an MBE firm, and PS 3064, CKL Engineers, LLC, an MBE and WBE firm. And last but not least, we have 2 architect engineer of record service providers. They can provide, the firms are large enough to provide, are diverse enough to provide both those services. Those are PS 3061 Smith Group, Inc., and PS 3063 GSG Material Testing, Inc., doing business as the HOH Group, Inc., an MBE firm. Thank you for letting me read through those. And again, big congratulations from the board. I'm happy to take any questions.
I have a question and a comment. Well, comment first. That's a very impressive list, and very impressive list. And I'm glad that we're doing business with the folks on that list for sure. What was the term? You said the term is not going to change as far as time, but what is the term?
The term is an open-ended term. We wanted
Open-ended.
to provide, yes, we wanted to provide the ability to continue working with these firms.
And I think I saw some language until either what funds are compensation or the funds are exhausted.
You are exactly right. Until the funds are exhausted or the work has been fully accepted by the PBC.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Borkman. Motion to accept the reports provided by the Director of Procurement.
So moved.
Report is accepted. Next item on the agenda is report by Chief Development Officer Ray Gitteroff.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Two reports. One is our field order activity report. There's currently 1 field order listed on that report. It does not exceed our reporting threshold. However, if you'd like, I can review that item. If not, I can move on to our change order activity report.
You can move on, Ray.
All right, thank you. With regard to our change order activity report, there are 2 projects in which we've reviewed change orders, obtained approval from our client, issued the change orders, and we're presenting those 2 change orders for ratification. The first is for the Belmont Cragen Elementary School project. These are for hardware revisions that were required due to our oversight by our architect relative to the panic hardware that is required. There were 2 doors that were identified after the work was completed during the punch list phase. Credit goes to the architect for recognizing the error and preparing the bulletin so that we can get the field order issued with our client's concurrence in order to do that work. The total amount of that change order is $8,666.71. The next change order is for the salt dome replacement facility over at Grand Avenue. That's for our client AIS and the Department of Streets and Sanitation. The total proposed change order value is $82,885.24. There are 2 parts to that change order. The first part is a total credit amount related to our closeout change order. And the second part has to do with a change order or a field order that we had previously presented during that phase that involved us addressing and mitigating the below grade salt pockets that were discovered after the work was completed. If you recall, that required us to conduct several borings based on a grid, and Commissioner Maldonado, you and the Carpenters Union were instrumental in providing some oversight and safety inspections as well. So appreciate that input. Throughout that process, the engineer of record, the independent testing laboratory, the geotechnical engineer, AIS, Department of Streets and Sanitation, and our team worked together specifically the EOR and the geotech engineer, to properly identify those salt pockets and address them so there would be no further issues at the site. This change order involved the removal and replacement of the ring road concrete area, replacement of the sub base engineered fill, stockpiling for reuse on site, and then removing and properly disposing of any unsuitable soils at the subgrade conditions, which contained those salt pockets that we discovered, in addition to filling all of the voids in and around that area so that there would be no further issues. In addition to that, we requested that the contractor, George Solid Company, conduct surveys of the salt dome so to ensure that there were no settlement issues. That also was confirmed. And there has been no issues since we issued the field order, and this is the final change order related to that work. Any questions about these items?
No.
Okay, well, that concludes my report. Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners.
Move to accept the report.
Thank you, Mr. Report is accepted. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.